Welcome to another Gaz Right video, and today we're going to be talking about surrounding yourselves with the right people to elevate your life, personal, commercial, economic, geothermal, governmental, whatever it may be, in between. I dropped a little quote and it's kind of surround yourself with the goats and you'll be better for it. Surround yourself with the greatest of all time. So yesterday, Saturday, I was like, I'm going to watch all the football Premier League's back, and if you want to see my analysis of that, obviously rocking the City shirt, go back and watch yesterday's video where I talk about City and just absolute shambles. But I was going to sit there, got loads of beers in, thought, you know what, we'll do a beer per goal, that sort of vibe. And you know, on this channel, I'm always preaching balance, but the Creative Club call, Louis, the boys, they were like, right, we've got a call tomorrow, 12 o'clock UK time, which is like 9 PM in Bali, and then 7 AM for me here. So I thought, you know what, we can't be having any Saturday beers because I want to be nice and fresh and on point for that. So obviously invested, say investors if it's like some stocks and shares, just pay like the monthly subscription to join, and have like weekly calls. Some are on like creative stuff, editing, some are just like different guest speakers and getting involved. But I think basically it's kind of like surrounding yourselves with the right people is going to push you and help you progress further in whatever you want to do in life. You know what I mean, the partisan ultras, aka the boys from down south, Harrison, Crab and Co, the general, my pals, you know what I mean, we enjoy our beers, we enjoy having a good time, but you've got people in there who I'm really good friends with who are extremely motivated from a career standpoint, from a rig standpoint, going to the gym, running marathons, half marathons, all that sort of stuff, and big talk obviously at the minute around the old crypto space, which is on the menu. Things you love to see. Had absolutely no money back in 2017 when me and Crab worked in London, but invested just a tiny bit in the old Ethereum, in the old Ether, and that's doing pretty well. Cardano was in absolute disarray, but luckily the appointment of Charles Hodgkinson with Donald Trump, so we're back to where we bought at. But I just think that whole surround yourselves with the right people is key. So the talk this morning from Louis and the Creative Club was just around escaping the 9 to 5, and there's nothing wrong with the 9 to 5 because I've often said the company I worked for before I came traveling, Contino, was absolutely unbelievable. Like the job itself, phenomenal in terms of like what we were doing as a business, as a company. Obviously I was working like internal talent, internal recruitment, but the company itself in terms of like the flexibility, the way they were set up, it was a case of we will give you all the trust in the world. No one's checking in, no one's checking what you're doing every single hour of the day. It's just a case of these are your quarterly targets, and then you have the freedom to do what you want to hit those targets. And do you know what I mean? The targets are make hires for the company, but it wasn't a case of, oh, you've not made X amount of phone calls or you've not made X amount of LinkedIn messages. It's a case of whatever works for you. And I think when you're given that trust, that freedom, you excel within whatever you're doing. So my job before, I won't mention them because it's a little bit of a negative, absolute legends that worked there, but the company and the way it worked was like you were in the office 8 till 6 minimum hours every single day, and it was, do you know what I mean, how many LinkedIn messages you're sending, how many calls you're making, how many this, and stuff like that, and it just creates an environment where you don't love being there, so you don't want to fight for it. Whereas I always used to say, mine was so flexible when I moved to Contino. It was like, right, I want to hit the top target every quarter because I don't want to do anything at all that could make me, lose my job and stuff. So yeah, I think the 9 to 5, there are a lot of positives. If you get in a good company, the flexibility is good, but it obviously doesn't compare to if you work for yourself. But then again, speaking to Josh and Louis, they're like, yeah, I work 10 hours a day, but you're building something for yourself. So yeah, I think that is the key for me. I think the money side of things is less of a concern, is more just I like the idea of like, building something for yourself. So we're exploring opportunities next year if we can link up with some of the legends, the Messi, Suarez, Neymar reunion with Mr. Sam Lloyd or with Mr. Kieran Dunn. Well, that would be absolutely top draw. That would obviously be priority one. And we're going to see what else is on, the whole horizon, I guess around that front as well. But this weekend, it's been a busy one. So we're talking about people motivating you. So we're in obviously the Creative Club group. You have like the the engagement group, the YouTube channels and stuff, and ultimately people are posting really good content, information, left, right and center. So it does push you to think, right, I need to do more, I need to do as much as possible to get yourself in the best possible position. So over the last 30 days, I've done a YouTube video every single day, and also done a YouTube short every single day. So we're yielding a little bit of success. Subscribers are going in the right direction. And I spent this entire weekend making another 30 voiceovers for different countries and things that we've been up to. So obviously the daily YouTubes are exactly what I'm doing every single day. The YouTube shorts are just kind of like a random mix of things I think will be interesting. But then what I've done this month, so last month I made a video, just did the voiceover, and I, like you see with a lot of my stuff, it's very casual, it's very much like me describing an environment in my own words, which I think is the way to do it. But what I've done is try to elevate and level up the content. So I've tried to put a lot more information. So I've scripted all the shorts, and then put obviously like really, really specific videos overlaid on top of what I'm kind of saying. So hopefully when you start seeing them starting today or tomorrow on the old channel YouTubes, I'll be posting on my Insta, as well, but hopefully the information and knowledge in there is going to make, if you're traveling to a place, a lot easier, where I've included like more prices, specific beach names, specific names of like restaurants and stuff. So hopefully there's just a silly amount of information and knowledge. But the whole idea there is leveling up the content. And then the final thing that we kind of talked about this morning was like taking the risk. Like what is the negative? What's the worst thing that could happen? And I think that whilst I've not done that from like a business standpoint, you know what I mean, we are just traveling, making a little bit of money from YouTube, an absolutely tiny amount. So the more videos you watch, the better it is for G-Dubs, and the longer we can keep the dream alive. But I'm a very like conservative person in terms of, if you ever played football, I'm very much in that Sergio Busquets, Rodri role, just give, nothing too flashy, not taking any unnecessary risks. So maybe I'd fit in. Actually, maybe Pep needs to sign me, and I could sort out our issues. But no, on a serious note, I think that in life, you don't want to absolutely risk everything, like risk all your money, risk all your time and stuff like that. But I think there's always a balance of like, what is the perfect job you want, the perfect scenario. Some people want to spend more time at home with friends and family. Some people want to travel the world. Some people want a job where you can travel or live and work in a different country. And I think it's a case of working in your job, doing whatever you do, saving up X amount so you have that kind of backing. But there is an element of risk, and that's not just leaving your job to go and do one of these things. If you leave one job to another, when I left Tech Systems, said I wasn't going to say their name, whoopsie, and then moved to to Contino, there was an element of risk. What if I didn't like it? What if I didn't pass my probation period? What if the job was worse, the money was worse, stuff like that, and ended up being the most unbelievable place to work in the entirety of the absolute world. So if you find an environment that replicates Contino, that is what you're looking for. Okay, high trust, good perks, great company, innovative. But we digress from the point, and it's. I bloody lost my chain of thought. We're all over the gaff. It's the Catalina wine mixer. But sorry, I was saying about element of risk, wasn't I? So it's like you have to take some risk, otherwise you're never going to get in that ideal role. And like basically, I love traveling. Like over the last few years, you follow me on Insta and stuff, we've always been, or I've always been then when I met Em and then Krabby and stuff, like traveling, trying to do as many countries as possible. So it was like doing like one big trip a year to like Thailand, Japan, standard stuff, and then doing obviously loads in Europe, easy being from the UK, 2-hour flight. You're pretty much everywhere in Europe, 4 hours you're in Asia, if you get to Istanbul. But you need to take the risk, otherwise you will never know. And I think that's one of the main things from like doing this big year traveling. It's like, right, there's all these countries we want to go to. Yeah, we can do them over the next 50 years. But let's just do them in one and then rinse and repeat the best ones in the coming years, the ones where we like, where we've only had a week there. Let's go back and do a 2-week holiday there and go to other places we've not been to. But yeah, if you don't take the chance, if you don't roll the dice, you will never know. And yeah, speaking from experience, that's been an absolutely sensational reward so far. The places we've been to, the people that we've met, obviously like I wouldn't have gone to Bali, I wouldn't have met Louis, I wouldn't have met Josh, wouldn't have met all the boys from the Creator Club, the connections I've made there, and then obviously all the people in the countries. So when we're on like boat trips, when we're on different forms of transport, anything like that, just the different cultures, the different people, do you know what I mean? That is only gonna enrich your life. Obviously there are a lot of negative times of hardship where you're away from family, friends, in dodgy situations, but I think that is character building, and putting yourselves in those scenarios will only help you in the long run. You know what I mean? No one was successful, do you know what I mean, sat at home, sat in their comfort zone, and not getting amongst it. So this has been an absolute rabble. I had a few notes, like 5 different key points written down on my phone, and I was like, it's all just going to come together in my head. But yeah, I think the key thing, what I wanted to say is like, there's no right or wrong answer of what you should want to do, but it's a case of everyone has that one goal, that one dream, and it might be something you want to do for 1 week, or something you might want to do once per week, or something for like we've done for like go and travel for a year, and then just get back to it and get your head down. But you know what I mean? You cannot win the raffle without buying a ticket. You got to roll the dice. So if you take one thing from this, it is you're gonna have to take a little risk to get to the top. We'll be back tomorrow in the absolute thick of it. Questions in the comments, hit the subscribe button. Remember, the chef is always cooking. Let's get it.